In this demo, I'll explain how to use a database for data caching purposes. The reasons for that would be that sometimes you maybe want to get longer date ranges into tools quickly. You might have had the experience that in Data Studio, some of the more complex and longer date ranges take a long time to load, same in Power BI or Tableau, or to just simply get a specific field into a database table. It will, in general, make sense if you use date ranges longer than 30 days, and also in case you have a big amount of data. Yeah. Now, how do we get started? You would need to have this set up here on onboard, and you have a couple of data sources connected. Of course, the data sources you want. You would also need to have a login to charts so that you can check the data, and that's it. Now, in this example, I will pull a couple of fields from a Facebook page, but it could be anything really. So I have connected here our page, and now I want to get some of the data into a database table. So I click on API docs, which I have open here already, and then I have Facebook page insights. Now you can see here the URL. This is the URL which gets me the data. So if I open this in a new tab, I will see the fields I have selected here. So I can modify this according to the documentation. So let's say I want to have 30 days rolling. That means every day or in the refresh interval you're loading the data. The last 30 days are updated then. Now here I have a couple of dimensions. Maybe for the sake of this example, I will add another few fields. So we have this here. And maybe also page ID and page name in case they are not there yet. So then we have page ID and page name. Now you see in that URL we have the API key missing, so I easily get it from here. So in here you see your API key. That will be the same for all of these queries you set up. And then I recommend running this query quickly in the browser to see whether it's the data you want or not. So you can see here I have data, so that looks good. Now what I do, I go back here and I want that stored in a database. So I then go here, click on the cloud database, but it could be any destination really. In this example, I use our database, and then I give it table name, Facebook page, insights, and then I select the refresh interval. I want that to have every 12 hours, and now I have to check before I add this that the date is present, which is the case, because we need the date field so that when there is an incremental refresh, the data is then updated accordingly. So I click add new. Now the configuration is saved and the data is loading. Now this will take a while, but it's a relatively short data set, so should be quick. So now if I'm in the SQL lab in charts, I should now see Facebook page insights table coming up here, and I have the information I want. So now I can just select all from Facebook page insights, create that query, run it, then I save it as Facebook page insights export. And now if I click explore, give it a meaningful name. And now we have the data here. So now maybe omit this ID here. Media type seems empty, so also remove that. Yeah, then I could do groupings and so on, but let's keep it simple. This is the data I have. And now what I can do, I can click here on a CSV. I can take that CSV and then I can import it into Google Sheet. The import data function. So I get the data here. And now if I would get a JSON, if I want to have the data in Data Studio, I select our JSON connector here. And as you see here, the root object is always data. So I do this, and then instead of a CSV, I get that as a JSON. Then I copy that link here. Then we click connect. And now you get your data in Data Studio. So now you would need to change the date into a date. And yeah, just make sure that you get the metrics right. The type of the column or the type of the field needs to be right here. This seems good, and then you can just click explore, and then that's it. From there, you can use your Data Studio skills to get to the result you want. Yeah. To wrap this up, with this we can increase the speed, especially for longer data sets, and we also can start working with specific fields into database tables. You can create as many of these exports as you want. You simply click add new, and then you start working on the next one. There is also a last processing status which will be populated in case there is an error. You will get an email, and you will also get this last processing status updated. Yeah.